Hey guys, Captain Henson here. So in today's video, I'll be talking about the Disney Princess Comics Treasury. Now, yes, I do have quite the diverse taste, don't I? Now, not the first time I've talked about Disney Princess Comics. A while back, I also talked about the Return of Snow White hardcover, which collects the Italian Snow White comics by Romano Scarpa all the way back in the 50s. Eh, yeah, I think I said it before in that video, but Disney, honestly, Disney anything outside of the books, I mean, movies and shows, and somewhat to the theme parks, but, I've been going to those for years at this point. Anything outside of those really interests me, because Disney is such a huge, well, company that has these not even franchises, just these really well known pieces of media. But, like I said, because it's such a big company, you got these smaller sects of it that most people would not have even heard of. The Italian Snow White comics from the 50s that were only given an official English translation back in, I want to say, 2017. Like, there is obscure shit that nobody knows about. And that's the thing that really fascinates me with, honestly, any franchise, but especially when it comes to Disney stuff. Because, yeah, everybody knows Disney. Everybody has seen at least one Disney film. Specifically a Disney animated film. But how many people can say, oh, yeah, I mean, less people can say, "Oh yeah, I saw like the direct to video sequels and the series too." But how many of them can say, "Oh yeah, I read Italian Snow White comics that were made in the 50s." So with all that said, yeah, because Disney means a lot to me, as I'm sure it does with any kid who had an actual childhood. I want to see more from these, Disney, specifically the animated stuff. And thanks to, Disney Plus giving us, like, an official place to go to watch the Disney afternoon stuff among, other shows of theirs, this is a pretty good time to be a Disney fan. No. So I guess this would be a good time to finally get to the comics treasury. Now, for those who saw my what I got in my absence videos, I did buy at least a smaller version of this. Collected far less issues. This is 800 pages. Now, as you can see, most of the comics collected are just adaptations, and the original stories are listed with their names, and we do have quite a bit. Like, if you're particularly a fan of, say, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, there are plenty of it collects plenty of the original stuff. This just collects comics. And when it comes to Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, it collects not full issues, but stories from those issues. So I would say this would be a good thing to get if you want to test out if you want to get into the Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Mulan comics. Because like I said, it collects stories so you can get a feel for how they are. And because I do want to get more into the Disney comics, get into the real obscure piece of Disney media just so I can show off, basically. Because it's really cool to have this knowledge that nobody else knows about. And like I said, Disney, everybody knows Disney. But how many people know the obscure bits of lore? Now, like I said, when it comes to the comics treasury here, it mostly collects adaptations, and I mean, it's cool that they're collected, if nothing else, just to see the artwork. But far more interested in the original comics to see these worlds and characters expanded a bit more. Like in, say, The Little Mermaid's case, getting to see the stuff before the first film and taking place in and around the series. When Ariel's like 15 years old, and in here it collects a story that shows how Ursula got her lair, which was really interesting. And and a story where Ariel and her sisters remember their mother. And this would have been like almost like 15, 20 years before we got Ariel's beginning. The real interesting ones are the Beauty and the Beast stories they collect. Because these stories pretty much take place around when the Enchantress cursed the Beast and his servants. Because we see Belle as a kid in those stories. We see Maurice as, well, a younger guy. Still had colored hair. And that's the thing, though, because I want to see what we don't really get to see. Seeing these main characters as children, or getting to see things explained that we would later get in the films themselves. Like Ursula getting her lair. Let's guess just. Oh yeah, this is a story here. Ursula gets her. Let's see if I can get. And like I said, mostly adaptations. And interestingly enough, collects. Well, we got adaptations of the 3 Aladdin films. I gotta look into, what other direct-to-video sequels got comic adaptations, because I was not expecting Return Jafar and King of Thieves to have comic adaptations, but it's nice, if anything, just so the 3 stories can actually look consistent with themselves in terms of, well, the picture quality. Now, so would I recommend this to people who either want to get into Disney comics or just, I don't know, just want to get it for the sake of having? I would say, yeah, retail price was $20. And I was able to get this for like, I don't know, $12. Given the fact that you have 800 pages worth of comic material, even at retail price, I would say that's worth it. You can find this cheap enough, and I would really recommend it. And also recommend The Return of Snow White, if nothing else, just for the fucking novelty of it. And so we can get other foreign Disney comics officially translated. Like, I fucking Spanish Hunchback of Notre Dame comics I really want given official English translations. You would think fans would have done it, but hardly. So, what do you all think? Do you like Disney comics? Do you like the fact that these comics can explore things that we never get to see in the films, shows? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any recommendations for Disney comics that I should read, let me know, because we're out of sight now. But yeah, I'm collecting Disney comics, so if you have any recommendations, let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Captain Henson, signing off.